Before cities, before governments, before laws, there was only land and people trying to survive. No streets, no buildings, no nations. For thousands of years, humans lived in small groups, constantly moving, following animals, searching for food, trying to stay alive. But then, something changed. Not slowly, not quietly. Something revolutionary happened. Humans stopped moving. They chose a place and stayed. And that single decision changed everything. Between two powerful rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, a new kind of life began. A life where people didn't just survive, they started to build. They built homes, they built communities, and for the first time in history, they built cities. This land would later be called Mesopotamia, but what happened here was far more important than just a name on a map, because this was where humanity took its first step into civilization. Here, people learned how to grow food instead of chasing it. They created systems, they organized society, and most importantly, they began to think beyond survival. Imagine waking up not to hunt, but to work, to trade, to create, to build something that would last longer than your own life. This was a completely new world. And in this world, a civilization rose. The Sumerians. They didn't just live differently. They changed what it meant to be human. They created the first cities, places like Uruk, where thousands of people lived together, not as a tribe, but as a structured society. They built massive temples, called ziggurats, rising above the land like symbols of power and belief. They developed trade routes, they invented tools, they created order. And then, they did something even more extraordinary. They invented writing. Not just drawings, but a system. A way to record ideas, to store knowledge, to communicate across time. For the first time ever, humans could leave something behind that would outlive them. And that's why this moment in history is so important. Because this is not just the story of the first cities. This is the story of when humans stopped being just survivors and became creators. Everything we know today, governments, economies, laws, cities, it all traces back to this place, to this moment, to this decision, to stay. This is where civilization begins.